So my Honda Fit Sport somehow needs an engine replaced. A Honda. And I'm still trying to decide how much of it's my fault for not going to a mechanic sooner, even though I couldn't really afford one. Or if the Honda Fit Sport really is the third worst Honda vehicle, like my friend says. It's always fun going on YouTube when they're like, here's the worst Honda vehicles. Then you see a car that looks just like your car. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Well, at least it was great to live out of. Anyway, so my car is out of commission, right? In America, I'm thinking, well, shit, I'm screwed. I'm time to go find the best bridge to go live under, correct? Yeah. Can't afford this apartment. Moving out at the end of the month. Yeah. It's gonna live in the car. Yeah. Problem is, I can't stay in one parking lot for very long, but the car won't go above 20 miles per hour because, again, one of the cylinders won't go above 80 psi, and the other ones are at 120. So, and you can't do redneck fixes to that. You can only replace the engine. I don't have the money yet to go get a new car, even though I'm willing to take something that's older than I am, uh, and looks like shit. Even those are expensive now because nobody can afford the new cars that all these companies are pumping out, so they're going to the old car market. Also, because those cars are more reliable. I mean, hell, my car was 2011. Like, it wasn't really new, and even it was too new. My best friend is really dogmatic about not buying anything after the year like 2002, and I thought he was just kind of being a stickler. He was just kind of taken after the boomers that raised him. But no, I get it now. I completely get it. So until I can afford to get a new car, I got to get a job in town. Um, and so I was like, well, shit, there's the bike path. And don't get me wrong, the Athens Nelsonville area has a great bike path that is totally usable. But that is a lot on your body. Like, you need to train up to that. And honestly, during the winter and stuff too, it's not gonna really be viable when it's like really cold and icy. So I was like, well, shit. I was like, oh wait, in uncharacteristically un-American fashion, I was like, there's public transportation. How much does it cost? Bus pass is probably not exactly in my budget, but I don't know if I really have a choice at this point. It's free. And not just for like the OU students. It's free. Because this place here actually cares about its citizens. So I tried out the bus yesterday. I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to take this day to learn because I've never really used a bus system. Like, I'm going to take wrong buses. Everything's probably going to take longer than it is. That's fine. My only real goal is to get a couple of groceries. I'm really just here to learn the bus system. First bus I get on, I basically make a new friend. All the drivers, super patient. And they were like willing to wait for people for a minute. Or they were willing to be like, oh, you're on the wrong bus. Here, let me page another one. Like, they don't have this like they do in bigger cities. And to be fair, they have reasons for why they're like that in bigger cities, but they don't act that way here because they don't need to be. And the drivers were so helpful and explained things. The actual bus system itself doesn't take too long to learn. I will say, like with everything nowadays, the app sucks. Like, it just sucks. It's just like I'm not gonna mince words about that. And it's not even just because I'm a mobile QA and like most apps suck to me now. Like, it's just wrong. And when I try to submit a bug report about how it was wrong, my keyboard covered the submit. And I know from my days of being a mobile QA that you have to put something in the code that allows you to get out of the keyboard. Because that was an issue we faced too when I was a mobile QA at a Quantum Health. And so I had to call him up and all that, and that was fun. To be honest, though, like, that's a pretty forgivable issue. And when I called her, I said, like, I'm willing to help for free because I use the bus system. Like, just let me talk to somebody. they probably won't take me up on that. So other than doing the same mistake everyone else does, where they just kind of outsource an app to some shitty company that has no connection, doesn't give a shit, and even then, like, you know, they're going off like donations and government money. They don't exactly have money to burn, so even that's forgivable. I have half a freaking mind to go get a couple of these college students together and start an open source version of it. I think they did that in some country, and it was like actually pretty successful. Anyway, I'm getting off tangent. I'm getting off the fucking main topic. Uh, Buses are fucking awesome. At least where I am. Like, I will never be the same after yesterday. After using a bus system and it just worked. Even if I do get a car, I probably will use the bus system. And not just because the car I have will probably have 300,000 miles and will be on its last legs. I, like, enjoyed it. There's something simpler about it. Once you actually learn the system, it made sense to not deal with the parking, to not deal with the traffic. It and maybe it's because I'm just burned out from dealing with all the car issues I've been dealing with, because this car has been giving me a new issue like every week for the past few months. But is this what being orange pilled feels like? Okay, I'm all here for it. Fare free buses everywhere. Fare free buses everywhere. I don't care if that gets me called a socialist. I think you need it for a functioning capitalist system. That's going to make the comments fun. And it's not that I wasn't in support of it before, I just didn't have a personal stake in it because I always had a car. So, I don't know how to end this video. I'm just dumbfounded. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people in Europe or people living in Chicago. They're gonna be like, "Ha, fucking idiot! We've been using it forever." Okay, fine, you win. Like, I get it. I get it. Tell me your experiences of the public transportation where you live and whether it sucks or it's good, and uh, how we can make it better. And also, how's the mobile app? I'm curious if there's any place that uses like a bus or train system and the mobile app doesn't suck. I've heard some of the ones in Europe are not shit, but they've been at it for a while. So let me know.